we recommend it to everybody. I mean, there's a lot of things out on the market, and I try not to sell anything in the store that I wouldn't use myself or that I haven't found to be the best product. You can see I only carry like one brand of motor oil because, you know, we've tested them all and we found which one is the best, and that's the one we use. We had Slick 50 here. We had Indy PTFE. We had a lot of different brands of oil additives, and this one here is by far the best.
In a race car, X1R is proven to give increased horsepower. It works best under heat and pressure, reduces operation temperature, and is compatible with synthetic oils. With X1R conditioning the entire drivetrain and bearings, it gives a driver confidence to take it to the limits.
I started using X1R a little over 2 years ago and just saw a commanding difference in performance and durability in my equipment in the cars that I have driven. I started off in the road racing circuits, the 24 hours of Daytona the last 8 years, the Sebring of 12 hours, which are endurance races, which is the most fatigue and wear and tear on a car. And when you have an oil lubricant additive that is as outstanding as X1R is, you feel much safer. Your breakdowns, your attrition rates are almost to nil. This engine right here now has 35 hours on it. In stock car standards, that is normally way overdue. We have just recently pulled the oil pan and the bottom end off this and looked at the main bearings. The bearings were just as in perfect shape as they were as the day we put them in. X1R is a friction eliminator. It really is horsepower in a bottle.
The big rigs in the transportation business going the long haul benefit from X1R.
We tried it in 2 different vehicles. One was an 87 Kentworth. Both vehicles were identical as far as power, transmission, and rear ends. The 87 Kentworth had right at 600,000 miles on it. We hadn't done anything to the engine yet, Caterpillar engine. We'd done rear ends, transmission, power steering, and motor in that truck, and it increased the fuel mileage. The other tractor we did was a 1990 Kentworth with a Caterpillar engine, same size, 4 1/4 cat. We did just the engine and power steering. It increased the fuel mileage, but not as much as the older one, where we did the whole truck. As most people know, in power steering, someplace in your turning radius, you hit a dead spot or a hard spot. And it's taking that all away. You're not getting the noise. If you get to the end of the turning radius, you're not getting the noise you got before. And it seems like it moves easier. Years and years ago, I tried STP. And they could never make a believer out of me with STP. It was an additive. If you got it on your hands, it was very slick, but it didn't impress me like the X1R did when we put it in the Caterpillar engines. The X1R really impressed me with the fuel mileage because it wasn't, when we tried the X1R for the fuel mileage, it wasn't set up. You're just going to run this one course or run this one trip. We ran it for 4 weeks. We ran it for a full oil change, 10,000 miles. And if every week the fuel mileage was there. It wasn't just 1 week. It was a constant thing with the fuel mileage.
X1R will protect your investment. There are approximately 180 million registered vehicles on the road today. In fact, American families own more cars, keep them longer, drive more miles, and spend more money on maintenance and repair than ever before in history. More than $100 billion was spent in 1991. A relatively new product being sold in parts and service departments at major automobile dealerships says it all. If X1R was not proven the best, it would not be there. What does it mean to the general public who buys X1R? Let's talk to some of the people in the business and find out firsthand X1R's significant benefits.
Well, we seem to get an increase in horsepower, a little bit better mileage. They even say it helps the engine and transmission run quieter. Primarily used car, it does help quiet the engine down. It seems to help it run a lot smoother. I think the advantage of a new car, it helps treat the metals going into before you notice any severe wear. It does help reduce the amount of wear on the metals in the engine as well as transmission. All the mechanics are using it themselves, so to me that's quite a testimony. When they start using the product themselves in their own vehicles, then the product's a good product and it does work.
I thought one product in particular that we had was better than anything else, and when we tested it against this X1R, X1R won hands down. And then the technicians and all, at the time of the demonstration, they all started getting involved. And from that point on, we just became believers in it. We started testing it in our parts truck. Our parts truck, we were using about 2 tanks of fuel in a week. And after we did the parts truck, it cut it down to about a tank and a half. And from that time on, I incorporated it into the services that I had on the cars. And people were coming back telling me that they had quite an improvement in mileage. The cars were quieter and just performed much better. And from that time on, I've put it into all the services that we've had. We've had AC problems, compressors making noises, what they say is standard operating condition. We've put it straight into the oil to the AC compressor, and it's quieted down quite a bit of them. Power steering pumps, they have a whine to them. We've put it in, and it's quieted those down. And people ask me what I've done. I just said I've added a little bit of this friction eliminator, X1R, and I've shown it to them. It's worked quite well. We had a differential in here about 3 weeks ago, and it had a normal operating whine to it. I mean, everybody was used to it. It was in a GT Mustang. We installed this in it, and it quieted down. The customer was very happy.
Well, I've noticed on power steerings in domestic cars, if you got power steering noise, it'll eliminate it in about 80% of the time. Gas mileage goes up. I just recently came back from races over the weekend, and I put it into my 1992 Saturn, and gas mileage went up considerably. Car seems to run smoother. The engines are quieter. Just overall performance just seems to be a lot better. We've got 2 in particular customers that have had transmission problems in Hondas, which they're notorious for a harsh shifting, but it's just normal characteristics of the Hondas, and it has eliminated it, and they've been pleased with the outcome on it.
The great advantage of X1R is that we can use it not only in the engine itself, but in the power steering, in the transmission, anywhere where there is a moving part. It gives us great flexibility. So with our customers, what we're selling is not just an engine additive, but we're selling something for their whole car. And that's how we sell it. We put the entire treatment in the engine, in the differential, in the transmission, in the power steering. We treat their car, and that has been just a very positive influence in selling this product.
You know, from a used car aspect, I've got to look at it from people that buy used cars want these things to last longer. And doggone it, when you put this stuff in it, it's going to make the car, help it run longer, last longer, and keep you from having to replace it sooner or repair it sooner. That's what you have to look at, just from a longevity on a maintenance basis. It just makes the car last longer.
In marketing, packaging plays a vital role in selling to the public. X1R has taken this concept to a new dimension with its unique bottle.
There's no guesswork to it. You fill it up, you turn it over, you fill it up, and then you empty it. And and it's neat too. I mean, you won't drip it on any part of the car or on yourself. So we like that a lot. Comes in very handy.
In building a solid foundation, X1R was proven in racing because of the grueling testing involved. Clients such as U.S. Steel, Robeson County, Oakland County, and American Plastics have also found the benefits of X1R in industrial applications. X1R is not just an engine treatment. X1R is a proven synthetic, liquid metal conditioner that dramatically reduces friction. Proven as a high-technology lubrication system, it is added to the engine transmission, power steering, and rear end for maximum benefits. Independent studies prove that X1R increases gas mileage, reduces engine wear, and makes your vehicle run smoother and quieter. X1R is proven to eliminate problems with power steering racks and pumps. It reduces vibration in hydraulic systems and eliminates gear noise. X1R, horsepower in a bottle, friction eliminator tested and proven by the best.